Welcome to Seattle, Washington Hempfest 2011.
It's under my ass and it's kind of warm, but you know.
20th anniversary, guys.
It'll get you where you need to go.
Epic, epic, epic.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Possession of small amounts is the lowest enforcement priority for our police.
I got the Lutheran of the Year.
Montana, where I be from. Hempfest, though I smoking hella weed.
Large intentional gatherings like this one can be a catalyst for powerful change.
Take a little piece of butter to get this whole world.
You want to start at the ground first?
Remember, Genesis 1:29 and 30, I give unto you all green, seed-bearing plants on all the planet as your food and medicine. Remember this.
The drums on number 5, please.
So it's time that we bring this safe, natural medicine, and it's time that we bring industrial hemp into the mainstream where it belongs. Marijuana is a safe, natural alternative to chemical poisons. Never forget that.
We've never had a third day Hempfest in the history of 20 years.
McWilliams still has no power. Over.
I'm not quite sure what it's going to be like.
And fly it up kind of like a kite.
THC list, how to get your own authorization.
Millions of people smoke marijuana all over the world now, in every corner. Nurses, teacher, the lawyer and the doctor, even the president of America.
The Obama administration, like every administration, like every politician, absolutely, positively sucks on medical marijuana and marijuana in general. When they asked Obama at every single sort of online press conference, the first question that everyone asked on the internet is, what do you think about legalizing marijuana? Every time he has laughed. Out loud, he just laughs. The lesson here is not to be anti-him, but to be anti-every politician who is lousy on the drug war, which is all but about 5. The way to go forward and make people pay attention to you is not by being on their reservation politically. It's not by being a guaranteed vote, but by making them suffer for being bad on an issue of basic humanity, for being on the wrong side of history, and for being on the side of locking up people for doing something that is absolutely, positively normal.
Yeah, smoke a blunt to that, go, peace, be easy, pass me the breezy. I wanna get high, just to do this all day. The more I get high, the longer I can stay. Yeah, whoa, coming back, yo, the homie's about to smoke a blunt, so I got to go.
And check it out when you go online at hempfest.org on our website. You can check out our membership or go to hempfest.org/membership. And hopefully we'll see you at all those events, and we'll be able to be together and be able to, sign the petition du jour and be able to, get the movement active throughout the year instead of just once a year.
Thinking about the things you said, you're nice. So nice. Let's take a chance and roll the dice.
Everybody
want a hammer?
Can smell it, and y'all can smell it, and they can smell it, and they can smell it. It's the high grade, it's the high grade, it's the high grade, it's the high grade, you know, it's the high grade, it's the high grade, it's the high grade, it's the high grade, you know.
It's legal here in Washington State for medicinal use and a whole bunch of different states for medicinal use, yet the government still maintains that there's no medicinal value. So obviously we have to change those laws, and it isn't just about education because they know the truth. There's definite suppression. We may need to stop the corporations that are keeping it down.
Right to equal protection. If you're a medical marijuana patient, you can't travel to most of the United States because your card's not good in that state. Your Washington card is no good in Oregon. My Oregon card is no good in Washington. That's not equal protection.
It's always been education. That's been the bottom line of Hempfest. Educate, teach them the truth, dispel the lies, teach the truth, and you'll turn around, and that's exactly what's been happening.
The biggest thing we see in our first aid booth is people that ate too much pot brownies. They think they're dying, they're sweating, their heart's racing, they're sick, they're throwing up, they're dizzy, because they ate too many pot brownies. Who knows what bodily part this person was scratching with their bare hands when they made those brownies in their pickup truck out there.
Seattle Hempfest, 20th anniversary year. 20 years of fighting for your freedom.
And so did Peter McWilliams. Peter McWilliams kind of summed up the whole idea of liberty that made him want to have legalized marijuana, was that all consensual crimes should be taken off the books. No one should be jailed when there's not a victim.
I said if it's in my mind, it's why I hate. If you think about hate, you perpetuate hate. If you think about love, then you resent love. You scare that night to the light. I'm right, because I'm protect. It's in my mind, it's what I hate.
That if every politician and elected official who had ever tried marijuana voted to legalize it, it would be legal in an instant. But prohibition as a strategy has not worked. The war on drugs has not worked. And we can do better. And we're at a time where attitudes are changing. Attitudes are changing, so we just have to keep diligently talking and explaining and being authentic to our friends and neighbor and our family members about this issue. And attitudes do change.
You and your world is my world, and my fight is your fight, and your breath is my breath.
Here in the city of Seattle, by popular vote, we went as far as we could go, which is that enforcement of marijuana laws for small amounts, the possession of small amounts, is the lowest enforcement priority for our police. Lowest enforcement priority. And you know, on that, the people led. The people led. And the politicians follow. Now, by the way, just do us a favor. Do us a favor. Lowest enforcement priority does not mean legal. Make life easier for everybody, including our police officers. Don't light up in front of them. Just make life easier for everybody, please. Okay?
4, 3, 2, 1.
As I'm rapping the homage, BDL, you know.
And here in the city of Seattle, we're listening. And we're going to make sure that we do our best to observe that state law, protect the rights of medical marijuana, legitimate medical marijuana users, to safe, access to medicine. That's not happening everywhere. It's not happening in every city, but it's happening in our city. Now, the problem is, of course, that our law at the city level, the laws at the state level, all exist in a world where it is still illegal at the federal level. And we can't change that from here with our votes. But we can change more state laws. People have spoken to you about initiatives. You know, I mentioned to you two things. The politicians followed because the people led. The initiative here in Seattle to make it the lowest enforcement priority. Medical marijuana. You have to keep leading. You have to keep leading. And I'll do my best as an elected official to lead too. I'll do my best as an elected official to lead too. But we need you to keep leading, because if we do that, we will make these laws make sense. We will make this community better. Thank you all of you for your work. Thank you.
Give me a voice down there. What's going on?
I can't hear you. What's that spell? I'm not wearing your tonsils. What does that spell?
So cool. One day I became so cool, but I'll never be as cool, never be as cool as Dr. Wonderbread.
The understanding that in this land of religious freedom, we have the right to believe what we believe without interference from the state, you know, which was what this country was founded on, has been eroded to an unbelievable degree.
And the war on marijuana is primarily a war against young people. 1 out of 3 people between the ages of 18 and 25 will consume cannabis this year. 1 out of 8 will consume every day. Are you one of 8? Should you go to jail for that? What do? That's right, learn your rights. I encourage all of you to check out normal.org.
They need to sign petitions, they need to vote, they need to get out there, come to events like this and be active.
This marijuana law that we're living with is flat out bad law. We got that going in our favor. It's bad law. Mayor LaGuardia said back in the 30s when they're dealing with stupid alcohol laws, he said if a society has a law in the book that it does not intend to enforce consistently across the board, the very existence of that law erodes respect for law enforcement in general. That's a big problem in a society, and we got that going on right now with this war on marijuana.
You know, put it down to Hempfest, I'm the best. Who wanna test? Nigga, in the midst of wrong shit.
When you think about the fear in our society, we can look at Europe and see how they've handled it. 10 years ago in Portugal, they decided to legalize the consumption of all drugs. All drugs. And I just interviewed their drug czar who wrote that law for my radio show, and you can see it on my website if you ever want to hear it. But they said after 10 years now, they have done a review of the effectiveness, because it was a little scary, you know, to legalize the consumption of all drugs. And they've decided after 10 years, even people who were opposed to it, that use has not gone up. They took the crime out of the equation, and now they can deal with it in a smart, pragmatic, harm reduction kind of way. Pretty good. What they've done is they've made marijuana boring. And in Spain, you can't sell marijuana, but you can grow it for your own use. So there's no retail sale of marijuana, but there is sale of all the gear you need to grow it well and seeds. So next time you go to Spain, you'll see that, and you'll have to hang around long enough to grow it in order to take advantage of that. Okay. Now, is that better than the Netherlands or the Portuguese approach? Well, they're all better than what we got, aren't they? Yeah. There's no perfect solution. Throw them that bone. Admit it can be addictive. It's not healthy. It's a drug. It can be abused. I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm saying it should not be a crime.
For the flowers. Good flowers. And vases too.
They're worried about kids. They're worried about driving. And they're worried about hard drugs. You can preempt that. The only thing gateway about marijuana is its illegality. That's what the Europeans have learned.
The reason that kids are ugly, little darling. All the looks ain't everything. Money ain't everything. Got along you just the same.
They can keep a pound of marijuana in their shop. The mayor of Amsterdam, last time I was there, was advocating to double that limit to 1 kilo because it would cut down on traffic congestion because there is so many little petty deliveries going around all over town. You could gross a ton of marijuana, but you can never have more than 500 grams in stock at any one time, you see? Now in the Netherlands, it's not really legal because you cannot legalize marijuana without finding yourself in a trade war with the United States of America. I've got friends in Denmark. You've probably heard in Copenhagen of Christiania, where they've got the marijuana and stuff. And they tell me, I'm up there, you know, and there's lots of marijuana flowing around and everything. And they say, be careful when you leave with this marijuana because in Denmark we have to arrest a couple of pot smokers every year in order to maintain favorable trade status with the United States. See, they don't want to arrest them, but it's just a pragmatic thing. You just don't want to incur the economic devastation of going into a trade war with the United States. So, my friends who run coffee shops in Amsterdam explained to me there's those kind of dynamics, and there's a lot of pressure from the United States, a lot of pressure from right-wing religious groups and so on for them to roll back the liberalness of their coffee shop culture and their coffee shop industry. Also, there's this concern all over Europe that you don't want to have drug tourism. let's assume marijuana is legal. Now what do we do? You know, how do you wholesale it? How do you advertise it? How do you regulate it? Nobody's figured this out.
$5 pipes, come take a look. $5 pipes, $5 pipes. Hey, come on.
Say I'm a hard-working, tax-paying, kid-raising, church-going citizen of this country, and if I work hard all day long, want to go home and relax with a joint, that is my civil liberty. So,
There are days when I want to curse this guy because, but in reality, it's the biggest blessing of my entire life. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that Gary got me into Hempfest when he did at the very beginning. And I thank you, my brother, my power brother. You're a miracle, brother.
I-502 is the ACLU supported initiative to legalize in Washington State. Tomorrow, what's the end of time?
Yeah, it's really peaceful down here. Everybody's good-hearted. Like, watch. Hi. Nice to meet you. See, you can't do that in a lot of other places.
Everybody move! Everybody move! Everybody move! Everybody move!
No more. No more. Let 100 flowers blossom. And don't crap in your neighbor's garden.
But they said that I could.
Love is where you find it. When you find your love at home. Nothing cold as ashes after the fire is gone.
A friend of mine came and tossed me a High Times magazine with the normal number in it and said, "Get a grip, bitch," because without the cannabis I was a total bat from hell. My grandmother used to call them banshees.
It's very hot, man. Make sure you're hydrated. It's even more important to be hydrated than it is to be high here, because we don't want to see in our first aid booth. I love you so much. I got to get back to the main stage. It takes me that long just to get through the crowd.
There's one thing you cannot argue with, is God. Because God is good. God is the love. God is the foundation of our very existence, whether we believe it or not. It doesn't make any difference what name you call God, because some people call him Buddha, some people call him Allah, some people call him Ishmael, some people call him Mom.
I know him as Jah Rastafari, the divine Elohim of creation. Jesus Christus Hamla.
I'ma bring it down waist next to the bases, and I get really hot, they call him Mr. Satan. Do my whole thing so that time be patience. Be one they call through my hood like it's nation. I'm a representative, boy, you can be the patient, but I be the doctor, up and up like it's crazy. Yo,
this place of great beauty. We celebrate the beauty of nature, and I'm also here to celebrate the wondrous nature of you.
Yeah! Woo! Thank you.
The presence that we have here today binds us as a community. It empowers us. It strengthens us. We must become visible en masse if we're going to bring about the change that we want in the society. And when we do that, we extend our reach. We bring about new possibilities. And the creative spark that births action can usher in a new world. We have to say to America, open up America, show yourself. Time for mass action. This is why and how recent movements for freedom in Tunisia and Egypt gained momentum. This is how Gandhi cast off the British Empire. This is how America's suffragettes ended up getting for women the right to vote. This is how Dr. Martin Luther King's March on Washington became a pivotal moment in the civil rights history of this country. People become visible. They go to the streets. They linked arms. They marched. They sang, "We shall overcome." They walked the uplit path of social and economic justice. People have been on this path, and it's time for us to begin to walk that path too. People then marched to glory, but not for themselves, but for the benefit of generations to come. We gather here today in a common determination for change. A sense of commonality of purpose awakens. A purpose, a sense of awareness grows. The moment arrives to exercise a new commitment, to cast off an old order of things. This same awareness brought America's founders to write the Declaration of Independence and to proclaim a new order follows. Today it is not a financial deficit that will bring America down. It is a deficit of public action. When people discover what happens when one person determines to make a difference and then merges with the many like-minded and becomes visible, new possibilities unfold and a new order follows. If it is for freedom's sake that we gather, so then let us be for freedom's sake that we act courageously, because it is our desire for change that carries extraordinary power to become more than we are, better than we are, forged in the human heart, ignited by love and a passion for transformation. Our common unity, our common purpose, and our common action can carry the power to change everything. This is the power of human unity. This is the power of our oneness. Feel it. Own it. Act upon it, Seattle. Thank you.
This is my shop. I've been coming here since I was a kid. It's family tradition.
I figured out this is a culture war. It's not just about politics, about left versus right. This is about a way of life. And the ability to articulate that way of life, to envision a future and move toward it. That's what it's about.
goals and check yourselves. Thank you.
No!
Pretty much to legalize, we have to go bankrupt as a country, because then we'll start with a new structure and then all this will be fucked.
We almost went bankrupt.
You are members of the cannabis culture. We celebrate our peacefulness, our tolerance, our love, our diversity. Our culture is important. We are non-violent, and we should not be hurt by the law or the government or anyone at all.
We're going to be getting not only stung with thousands of one of us, but all across the world, all across the United States. Let's do it, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Happy 420, folks. Oh, look at you guys. I guess you brought him and now you're going to smoke him.
To be free, my husband deserves to be free, and all prisoners deserve to be free, so do whatever you can every day to end this war on drugs. Give money to Seattle Hempfest. They are so amazing. They sleep under the stage, and they deserve your love and support. Happy birthday.
In fact, some guy just talked me into signing up to vote today, so I mean, people just being here is what it's all about.
Mango lemonade. If you don't think mango lemonade sounds great, you ain't high.
This is a cool experience. If you ain't been to Hempfest, come to Hempfest. It's a cool ass Northwest experience and shit.
I love you guys. I love Hempfest. Thank you.
Well, you know what? The DEA are full of good people that think they're doing the right thing. Good people go home to their wives and children, they work real hard, they think they're doing the right thing. They're wrong! The pot laws are evil, un-American, disgraceful, travesties of justice. Nobody's ever died from pot. Like how many people died in prison? How many people in prison raped in prison? Because they're in there with murderers and rapists and child molesters and pawn scum of the earth, the lowest common denominators of humanity. You know, people that don't even earn the air they breathe because they're criminals. And they put pot people in there. And that's why we're going to come back year after year after year. If my grandkids have to do this when I'm dead, because it's the only responsible thing to do for a stoner, man, is to fight the war. Fight the war. Fight prohibition. They got a drug war. They're killing us. They're shooting us. They're putting us in prison. Well, we're going to stand up. We ain't going to take it lying down. We're going to stand up and fight. We're going to fight in a way that we're going to win. We're just going to fight non-violently. We're going to fight peacefully, but we're never going to give up. They can put us in jail. They can scare us. They can criminalize us. They can pull us over. They can do whatever they want, man. It doesn't matter. Because there'll be another one in our place. There'll be another stoner, another stoner, another stoner. We're an army of stoners. There'll be a mountain of stoners. We're going to win. We're all across the world. We're never going away. We're not criminals. They can't get rid of us. They can't arrest us all. Forget it. It's over. We're winning. The federal government of the United States cannot defeat us. We are winning this war against the biggest, most well-funded, meanest, most unmercifulest crusade against any American that's ever happened by our own government. It's disgraceful. But you know what? We are loud, we are proud, and we're Hempfest. We're going to raise our Hempfest fist in the air and say, power to the peaceful, power to the potheads, power, freedom, legalize it, leave us
alone let us live our lives. Let us raise our children. We're responsible, peaceful, wonderful people. What a beautiful culture.
For them to see that we're just average people, we raise families, we contribute in a positive way to our communities. That's what we need. So if you're a mainstream, middle-class marijuana smoker and you can come out of the closet, it's probably the most important thing you can do to help us move through this final phase and finally legalize marijuana.
We ain't going nowhere. We still sitting on top. We still doing our thing. We still reigning supreme. That's why everywhere we go, they yell at cotton out. We still here. We got the game on lock. We ain't going nowhere. We still sitting on top. We still doing our thing. We still reigning supreme. That's why everywhere we go, they yell at cotton out.
Yo, yo, jump, 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 jump.
Engaging the bases, time goes by. That's what happens when you get high. Hands on the cloudy, words is lies. Engaging the bases, ISI. Engaging the bases, time goes by. That's what happens when you get high. Hands on the cloudy, words is lies. Engaging the bases, ISI.
Jump, 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 jump.
Engaging the bases, time goes by. That's what happens when you get high. Hands on the cloudy, words is lies. Engaging the bases, ISI.
In the world, destruction and greed, there's no time. Links that we plan on, we got no time to. Yo, we do what's real. Yo, speak with me and Pat Stuff.
Seattle Hempfest, make some motherfucking noise!
Got me on the run, cause I'm going crazy, crazy. Uncontrollable, like a razor, wild bull. With the blood side, now we kicking down the fucking door. Rockin' it wild, and I'm awake as hell. On the rampage, can you hear me now? Hey, we going on a rampage. 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 We do it every day, we do it our way. No matter what they say, we going on a rampage. We tearing up the town, we gonna burn it down. The revolution's we going on a rampage.
We're going on a rampage. Here comes the end of all days. Get out of the way, we're going on a rampage. Hey, 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 hey. Get out of the way, we're going on a rampage. Here comes the end of all days. Get out of the way, we're going on a rampage. Hey, hey, we're going on a rampage.
I smoke 2 joints in time of peace and doing time of war. I smoke 2 joints before I smoke 2 joints, and then I smoke 2 more. Yo, put your pipe down, put the pipe down, put the pipe down, put the pipe down. Put your bong down, put your bong down, put your bong down, put the bong down, put your bong down, put the bong down. We the P-Town violence, y'all get right.
Hell yeah. To be the one to bring the party back in here. The bass drop and the temperature rise. Tequila to bring the vibe in your eyes. Yeah, I can't do this shit worldwide. See me on a plane with my high eyes. Red as fuck. No one say no surprise. What you expect from the thing of the guy? Hey, you can hang, put your hands on the feeling. Put your everybody party hard. Don't fight the feeling. I'ma put it out there that we can party harder than y'all. We bringing heat to the throne. We be my style. We are the people that control of the wheel. We are the people that be making the deals. We are the people that be up in the hills. We are Johnny Dick, I'm the king of the block. I got a 7-fold band and a 12-way shot. Say party, party, party. Say party, party, party.
Y'all know the motherfucking name.
Yeah. I say remember that, sing it.
Love is what I got.
I say remember that, come on.
Love is what I got.
I chop that 420, what you want me to say? I stay blazed all day, no matter where I'm creeping, I'm box, hit a block, got a spot on the weekend. Say Cottonmouth King,
Cottonmouth King,
fired up,
fired up.
Cottonmouth King,
Cottonmouth King,
fired up,
fired up.
say yeah,
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Seattle,
Seattle. Put your peace sign up and wave it side to side.
we want peace, oh, we want a peace of mind, we want a peace of mind. It's peace of mind, in the world, peace of mind. We want peace, oh, little piece of my earth and get this whole world high.
Thank you, Cottonmouth Kings. You played a full hour. We appreciate it. Give your love up.
Okay, let's walk us down the road.
What is that? And everybody off the rocks!
The plant has 0 fatalities in its known history, 0. So a war on this plant is a war on God, a war on goodness, a war on people of peace. And God doesn't want us to do that anymore. God wants us to get up and take a stand and say, yes, I do. Why do you care? Thank you.
And the home of the brave. It's our country too. The people led and the politicians followed.